As a sci-fi fan, today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, space. Even better, besides all the technological advancements and launches that are underway, for investors, there's not just one or two, but this growing galaxy of opportunities. That means it's never been a more exciting time to invest in space than now. Hi, I'm Matthew Carr, Chief Trend Strategist for the Oxford Club, and welcome to this episode of Market Trends. If you like reading books like The Forever War, Old Man's War, Gateway, the very fun We Are Legend, We Are Bob, the ubiquitous sort of Ender's Game, even books like Foundation or Michio Kaku's Physics of the Impossible, Mary Roach's Packing for Mars, then the opportunity I'm going to talk about today is for you. And if you don't like those books, you can still profit too. A few years ago, a colleague and I came up with this very exciting idea, investing in space. We were excited about the potential for space mining asteroids and even the moon, the possibilities of the communications and satellite growth. But here's the amazing thing. Everyone thought it was dumb. No one cared, right? Fast forward to today, all of a sudden, space is the rage. Everybody's very excited about the opportunities because there have been changes that have taken place in the industry. According to Morgan Stanley, the global space industry was worth $350 billion in 2019, but that's expected to grow to more than $1 trillion by 2040. And some forecasts are even more bullish, projecting a multi-trillion-dollar industry within the next 10 to 20 years. So we're talking about an industry that is going to double in the years ahead. At the forefront of this is something that I recently wrote about on Profit Trends, which you be sure to go and check out. And that's satellites. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details, but just to give you the broad brush strokes, we are witnessing a new space race. But right now, this isn't between countries. This is between Silicon Valley tech giants. And over the next several years, there are plans to launch more than 46,000 satellites into orbit. To put that into perspective, that's more than 5 times the number of satellites 40 countries have put into space over the last 6 decades. Now, when we look at the current space industry composition, that satellite industry is the largest piece of the pie, as well as, the ground equipment. But the non-satellite industry is worth a little bit more than $79 billion and is projected to grow to nearly $130 billion by 2040. And that includes commercial spaceflight. And here, I'm very excited about because there's one of my favorite opportunities to invest in. Virgin Galactic. Now, Virgin Galactic is the first publicly traded company that's primary focus is to take normal people, not astronauts, into space. I also think the company signifies investing in space because let's remember that Virgin Galactic's original plan was for its commercial flights to begin in 2009, more than a decade ago. Obviously, there were delays. Then there was a tragedy in 2014, but everything has continued to move forward. And now we're looking at commercial flights in 2021. Already, there are more than 8,000 people that have signed up for this 2.5-hour flight, which includes roughly 6 minutes of weightlessness. The tickets are not cheap. We're talking $250,000 per person. That's a little bit more than the median price of a home here in the United States. Obviously, Virgin Galactic is targeting high net worth individuals at the moment, but the hopes is that as the business gains speed and it essentially really gets off the ground, they're able to reduce those prices and expand out to a much broader audience. Now, Virgin Galactic believes its total addressable market is somewhere around $900 billion. That includes not just space tourism, but also point-to-point travel, which SpaceX and Blue Origin are looking at. But because Virgin Galactic is focusing primarily on the premium market at the moment, we'll dwindle that down to around $300 billion. This is still a very exciting opportunity, and shares have really come off their highs earlier this year. But here's the thing you really need to know. Looking to 2021, we're talking about revenue for Virgin Galactic is going to grow more than 3,500%, from $2.7 million roughly this year to almost $100 million next year. At the same time, its loss per share will continue to shrink because it's actually, starting to bring in revenue. Now, Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, as well as Elon Musk's SpaceX, are both exploring, space tourism as well as point-to-point travel. But neither of those are publicly traded companies at the moment. And right now, Virgin Galactic has first mover advantage. It is the only publicly traded space tourism company and space line, and Richard Branson has successfully run an airline in the past. So Virgin Galactic is my number one play in this industry, but it's also important to realize that we are witnessing a revolution. We're on the cusp of these new industries like space tourism, like space line, like point-to-point travel, really beginning to take shape and in turn reward investors. And that means every investor should make room in their portfolio for space. I'm Matthew Carr, Chief Trend Strategist for the Octra Club. Thank you for watching this episode of Market Trends. And for more information like this, be sure to go down to the description and sign up for my free e-letter. Until next time, here's to high returns.